Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your girl Calphany here. Today I am in Luo Tianyi. She's a Chinese V-singer, Vocaloid basically. I'm doing an outfit that I put together for her because I am actually performing as Luo Tianyi this NecoCon Sunday. I'ma be there performing for a short amount of time, but performing nonetheless. Mind you. Today, we are going to be reading some more r/AmITheDevil. Once again, no one could have predicted this. Not a soul could have predicted that we would be reading more AmITheDevil. But, let's get... No, actually, hold on. Let me tell you about my ensemble here. Wig made it. Loops made it. That's why they move a lot, because I didn't do a very good job, so I have to remake this wig at some point, but it's good enough for now. Necklace, little butterfly ensemble, butterflies. I dyed these. I also dyed the dress, so it's like a dip dye blue. Got little these, and I got some cute little socks. It's very cute. I look adorable. I'm sorry, that's just the case. But without any further ado, let's get right into the stories. So our first story comes from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for calling BS on my GF's refusal to donate blood? I, 28 male, donate blood 3 to 4 times a year. I just feel it's important to do as my dad has gotten a blood transfusion. I've tried to get my girlfriend to donate with me, but she refuses because she says she's anemic. Twice! Since we were dating, she would eat less and lose some weight and her period wouldn't come, which freaked us out because we would wonder if she was pregnant. Then she would take some iron tablets and a few months later it would come back. I assumed because of the missed period, what she said was correct. But then she took a routine blood test after not going to the doctors for a few years, and the doc called her to tell her her blood test was fine and she had enough red blood cells or something. After the call, I asked her if she wants to donate blood, and she said no, because she needs the iron. I got annoyed because the doctor said she was fine, and she said her blood test was okay now, because she started taking iron pills every day. I told her just up the dose of iron pills and said it's BS, she makes excuses when she clearly could donate. And she got mad and told me I have no idea about her body and she gets extremely tired when she lacks iron or has a period. I assume it's because she missed her pills, and it's normal to be tired when having a period. But she tells me to shut up whenever I bring it up now. I think she has another reason, or just doesn't want to bother, and is using her perceived iron deficiency, which was not found on her blood test, as an excuse. You don't have to donate blood. You don't have to donate plasma. You don't have to donate. You also don't have to be an organ donor, because those are your choices as a person with bodily autonomy. You can do whatever you want. If it's really that big of a deal for you, I really think you should rethink this relationship and whether or not you can be with somebody who doesn't donate blood. If you require someone you're dating in a relationship to donate blood, weird prerequisite, but okay, I guess. But you can't force it upon somebody and just continue to harass them and berate them when they don't donate. I think you should rethink this relationship and whether or not you think your...
Oh, brother!
I guess morals. I think you should rethink this relationship and whether your morals and your wants in a relationship necessarily line up. Because I'm not thinking they do. Our next story is from r/True Off My Chest. I wrote my ex letters for years. Fate reunited us, and now I'm blocked again. 3 years ago, I met my ex on Omegle. Weird place to meet your ex. Where we bonded over long conversations despite disagreeing on music. Okay. We quickly made a strong bond and started dating, even though we both cringed at the idea of an online relationship. Early on, I learned she had a traumatic past, but I was too immature and overconfident to realize how emotionally draining her struggles would be. Eventually, the relationship took its toll on me, and though I loved her, I made the decision to break up with her. A choice she fought against, but I stood firm. To this day, I regret it. After our breakup, I was involved with other girls and managed to forget her for a while. But by the end of the year, I realized that none of them compared to her. She had everything I wanted, from her looks to her personality, but I hadn't appreciated it while we were together. This led me to start sending her letters through her P.O. box, which I had from when I once sent her a game I wanted her to play. In my first letter, I expressed how much I missed her and mentioned dating other girls after our breakup to forget her, but it didn't work. She replied with a cold, egocentric tone, which was understandable given how badly we ended things. Despite her response, the fact that she replied at all kept me writing more letters. 3 months later, I sent another letter, again admitting I missed her and feeling ashamed for reaching out. She replied in the same distant tone. this time pointing out the mistakes in our relationship and how short it was. When she didn't respond to my third letter, I became obsessed, sending more and more letters in the hopes that she would reply. But she never did. Despite my efforts, I never got another reply. I will change the locations for privacy reasons. My parents and I were going on a field trip to Texas. My ex lived all the way in California, so she was hundreds of miles apart from where I was at, adding also the specific city I was in. I decided to go to one of the shopping malls from the city. I was getting out of a store when I saw a girl that looked exactly like my ex walk from the other side of the mall floor. I was so astonished by the similarities that I followed her direction just to make sure it wasn't her. As I was getting closer, I slowly started to realize that it was actually her. I was panicking very badly. My heart was beating very fast. But I was thinking to myself, even if it isn't her, you gotta talk to her, since I wasn't 100% sure. I started mentally preparing myself to do a simple cold approach before assuming anything. Since she was with her parents, I had to wait for her to go to one of the stores by herself so I could talk to her. When she went into the store by herself, I went in, approached her, and asked for her name. She then said, "Wait, are you blank?" I replied, "Yes, no way it's you." I asked her why she was there. She was visiting for a softball tournament. She told me that she already knew I was in Texas because one of her friends, who I became friends with when we were together, showed her our snap locations being in the same city. We had such a good conversation, although it was cut short because of her needing to return to her parents. I told her how relieved I was to see her, and she told me that she was very happy and surprised to see me. After that, she unblocked me on Instagram. I told her that I was going to text her. She replied very well to the text and we began to have a conversation. This was a dream come true for me. I even felt like that was a higher calling for us to end up together. I was the happiest I had ever been. It didn't even feel real. This is where I'm confused. After one of her replies, I asked her if she wanted to try and start fresh with me. I waited days for her to respond. I knew from the first day she ignored my message that she wasn't going to reply, since she's the type to reply quickly or never reply. A couple weeks go by, still without saying anything. I check her profile, and poof, I'm fucking blocked again. I don't even know what to do anymore. At this point, I've written her one last letter asking why. If I don't get a reply, I will leave it as it is. But this situation has literally ruined most of my life. I need advice. I've heard my English sounds a bit too formal at times. I'm not a native speaker and still learning English from college, so my apologies for any bad phrasing. I think he needs to maybe take the hint that she's not interested when she didn't reply to his letters. I think that he should really kind of take a step back and look at the situation with objective eyes, and she probably felt really pressured to kind of interact with you. I hate this fucking wig. I am shedding like crazy. I need to get a new wig. Oh my god, wait, I gotta show you. Look at all that hair. From one pigtail. It gets on my nerves because I spent decent money on this wig and I had to sew these in by myself, so I had to buy wefts separately and they shed so bad. And this is from Arta. This is like a nice wig company and they shed so bad. It was disappointing to say the least. Anyways, back to the Reddit post. I think he needs to take a step back and look at this objectively. He literally followed her into a store. She probably felt really uncomfortable, especially when he was like, "Excuse me, are you so-and-so?" You literally went in, you followed her into a store though. You waited until she was alone, which is kind of weird to begin with. I don't know how old you are, but like, if you're with your parents, I'm assuming kind of young, so maybe you just don't know any better. Well, it says they were in college. Hang on a minute. Learning English from college. Okay, so never mind. I take back what I said about them possibly being young, just not understanding. Old enough to know better. What you're doing is really weird. She probably feels extremely uncomfortable and like she had to unblock you. Crazy that fate put you in the same mall together. Yes, I will match you on that energy, but it's not fate that you followed her into a store. It's not fate, that's you following her into a store. Because the little braid in the back is so cute too. I love the loops. That's one of the things that about Lua's or Tiany's design that really attracted me to her in the first place is the loops in her hair. I think it's so cute. I love the design. Our next story comes from r/marriage. I've changed. Wife wants divorce. Throwaway as my wife is on Reddit. I, 44 male, am likely getting divorced from my 41F wife. She is driving it, and I'm not sure I blame her. We've been married for 14 years, together for 20. Damn, that's a long time. My wife has been angry at me for roughly 6 years. Damn, what did you do? I can pinpoint where it started below. Oh my god. When we met in college, I'd classify myself as a liberal atheist. I have no idea what that means. 6 years ago, I had a spiritual awakening and converted to Christianity rather quickly. My wife, who is still an atheist, was extremely upset. She didn't even come to my baptism. I have asked her to come to church, which she declines, but I don't push the issue with her as I know she's not there yet. I don't know if she ever will be. I also started to become more conservative during those 6 years. Now I classify myself as a conservative individual, while my wife is very left-leaning. This, on top of my Christianity, has put my wife over the edge. We'd gone into various rallies together in our early years, a few being reproductive rights rallies. However, she now loathes me because I disagree with my younger self. I do not talk politics with her. For the last 4 years, she has increasingly tried to start fights with me on various issues, but I have remained silent to avoid fights. Typically, these comments are made at dinner, where her and our friend group will gang up on me or make passive derogatory comments towards me. Sexually, we are having intercourse 1 to 2 times a month. I think the sex is good, but there are stretches where it feels more like hate sex from her. Last week, I was barbecuing us dinner, and she said we needed to talk. She told me that I have completely changed, she doesn't recognize me anymore, that the only way back to a proper relationship is for me to turn my back on my conservative beliefs and abandon my weekly church going. She then laughed while crying and said she knows that's impossible, so she wants a divorce. I can't say I was surprised. She's absolutely right. I've changed. However, we have a good marriage, outside of being complete opposites from a political and religious aspect. We enjoy the same hobbies, have fun together, and have a general sense of wanting the same things, albeit from different perspectives. I told her to please give counseling a try, but she's adamant she wants divorce. Has anyone gone through this? It does feel like we are unequally yoked, but giving up on her also feels wrong. I don't know why this is in Am I the Devil? Because I don't necessarily feel like they're the devil. Granted, I am also more left-leaning, but just because two people have different political views does not mean that they're the devil. But I think that as you grow older, you definitely change. Your political views change, your views on life change. I know I myself am a completely different person from who I was in high school, so that's a testament to how growing older can change your views on life. I can see why this would be a reason for divorce. If your political views are that drastically different from each other and she really cannot see your side and really cannot live with somebody who has such different political views from her, I get it. I don't blame her. I think giving counseling an opportunity is worth it. Give reconciliation a try before completely throwing in the towel, but I feel like she has her reasons for why she would want divorce. I mean, I'm politically on her side, but I don't think that going straight to divorce and then just being adamant on it is necessarily the best choice. I think that I can see why he doesn't want to give up, and I can see why he's hurt from this, but I can also see why she would want divorce. God, look at this, bro. You see all those hairs? Fuck. I can see why she's upset though, and I can see why he also doesn't want to give up. It's a kind of sticky situation, but I don't necessarily think this belongs in Am I the Devil, because I don't think he's the devil. I don't think this is a crazy, outrageous thing to want. I don't know, I don't know what unequally yoked means. Oh, so unequally yoked, as one of the comments says, it's from Paul from 2 Corinthians 6:14. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? Even if he's using the phrase casually, it implies that his non-believer wife is lawless, immoral, and unrighteous, purely due to the fact that she's a non-believer. Her own morals and ethical systems, no matter how well she's thought them out or how rigorously she abides by them, are fundamentally empty as moral/ethical systems because they aren't underpinned by his faith. Okay, well that kind of puts it in a different aspect. Maybe he didn't mean it in that way. I've never heard that phrase before, so I don't really know how common that is to be said among Christian people. That kind of changes things a little bit because it makes it sound like her beliefs are just fundamentally wrong and it's okay to disagree on things. You don't have to like everything that your partner does, and you don't have to support everything that your partner does, but coming from a place of understanding is what you should do as a partner. I'm a relationship expert, trust me. I hate this part. I crimped this part of the wig too much and it just kind of stands out and I hate it. I want it to be more flat like this. Our next story comes from r/am I the asshole _ would I be the asshole _ public. Am I the asshole for leaving my girlfriend after she told me she wasn't a virgin? Probably. I, 26 male, am a virgin myself, and a Catholic, never even kissed a girl. I've been dating my girlfriend for 5 months, and I finally brought up the topic of virginity, and she told me she wasn't a virgin. After that, I've been very distant from her, and I don't want to see her anymore. The Bible tells me to stay away from women like that, and I want a good mom for my kids. I'm big on family. I also feel like I should tell her father about his own daughter not being a virgin and unmarried. He might not have known, or he would have told me. Oh, this feels gross. This reeks of misogyny. Oh boy. Just because she's not a virgin does not mean that she would not be a good mother. I don't see how virginity has anything to do with motherhood. I'm not a mother, so don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but I don't know how virginity plays into a role of being a mother, because as far as I'm aware, most mothers are not virgins. Now, once again, I'm not a mother, so this is coming from a place of inexperience, but I think most mothers are not virgins. Never even kissed a girl. Get a fucking load of this guy. Never even kissed a girl before. Loser. I feel like I should tell her father about this. Ooh, don't you feel like you're overstepping some in doing that? Do you really feel like it's your place to do that? Because I don't think it's your place to do that. Our next post comes from r/relationship advice. Girlfriend 25F of 5 years broke up with me, 28 male. How do I come to terms with it all? She did it last week, completely out of the blue. She said that she's been feeling this way for months. I was shocked. Asked her if that's truly what she wanted, and she said yes. She said that I didn't show her the love she deserved, which I admit I failed to show up as a partner. She went on to say that my reluctance for marriage and having foster kids was another reason. I asked her if she wanted to take a break from the relationship, and she said no, she wants to break up. I'm not anti-marriage, but all the marriages around me have failed, and I'm scared that would happen to us. Now, I'd marry her if it meant not losing her. She asked if I needed space, so she left. I processed everything and slept at a friend's house. The next morning, I came home to her in bed. I climbed in and asked if we could talk some more, which we did. She said she deserved someone to reciprocate her love, and shouldn't have to withhold her love, but it's what she had been feeling. She doesn't believe she should have to explain to her partner how and when to be loved. I asked if I could cuddle her, and she let me. She started crying, and I asked her why. She replied that it's too late to show affection now. She can't remember the last time we cuddled. I told her I could change, but she stated it's too late. There's so many things wrong. I'll admit, our relationship had been rocky for months, but I thought we were both just stressed and prioritizing our own lives. She just started uni, and I have a really stressful job. We had sex maybe once in the past 2 months, constantly fighting, and she mentioned a few times that she wasn't sure about our relationship, and if it's what she wanted. We struggled to have productive conversations about us in the future. For the last few months, we just drifted on. I cried in bed, really bad. She comforted me. We talked a bit more and we both cried. Then she said she needed a break, so she turned on Netflix in the living room. I picked up half of my things later in the week, but she specifically asked me to come by while she was at work, since she is sad about us breaking up. I grabbed the last of my things on the weekend and I asked if I could see her one more time. She said sure, but doesn't think it'll be the last time we will see each other. She wants to write me a letter, but is waiting for her head to clear first. When I got to my old apartment, I grabbed the last of my things and apologized to her for being a poor partner, that I wish I could go back and change things, but I can't. All I can offer is my sincerest apologies. I told her that I know it's too late to work on things, but I'm sorry. You've made it clear you're done with me, and I will respect letting you go. Because we've been together for so long, forgetting you will be like forgetting a piece of myself. I went on to say that if you ever need someone or feel completely alone, to call me and I'll do what I can to help. Also let her know that if she could ever find it in her heart to forgive me, and believe me when I say I will change, to call me, and we can have an adult conversation on moving forward. I returned her money she had sent me for an upcoming trip we'd previously planned, told her to use that money to fly home to be with family and heal, rather than be in an empty apartment. We hugged tightly, neither of us wanting to let go, kissed each other for what seemed like forever, and both said we love one another. It's been 4 days, no contact. I've been having moments where I'm at peace with us ending, others where I create a fantasy where she takes me back, and moments where I just break down and cry. Like right now. It's clear that she thinks I'm holding her back, and that she's done with me. Truly, I was a shit partner, mean at times. I never cheated or hit her, but the coldness, anger, and rudeness when I should have been vulnerable about my feelings is probably worse. Our problems really began at the start of this year when I started a new job. We had less time for one another and stopped prioritizing ourselves. I had to move back home with my parents, but I've been working on myself intensely these past 4 days. I've journaled, meditated, worked on forgiving myself for my mistakes, and listened to therapy videos. Being around family, I made it a priority to be more expressive with my love and feelings by spending time with my mom, dad, and siblings. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm grateful that it's a start considering I didn't leave my room or eat anything for the first 2 days. The thing is, I secretly hope that by me doing all this, she will somehow see that I can change and take me back. It's delusional, I know. But today I was talking to my cousin about everything, and he was saying what my logical side has been saying all along. She's done with me. It's over. It also doesn't help that we had adopted 2 cats together. They had turned 2 a week before we broke up, and now I will never get to see them grow up. I will just be a distant memory for them. I'm sorry about the mess of words, but I just had a moment where I came to terms with all of it and had a crying session. I don't know what I expect by posting this, but it has helped me vent about my current feelings. I don't think it was out of the blue. I mean, you listed reasons why she broke up with you. We don't get the other side of the story. And I take things at face value, which is kind of a problem sometimes, but I take things at face value a lot of the time. And I feel like he's really hurt, and I feel like he really means what he's saying, but it could also just all be bullshit that he's making up to make himself feel better, which is what some of the comments are saying. I don't understand his point about marriage either. Just because you see marriages fail does not necessarily mean that every marriage is bound to fail. There are plenty of marriages that don't fail, so I don't really feel like that's a good reason. I kind of understand where they say that they're pretty upset about them adopting 2 cats, because me and my ex had got a dog together, and his new girlfriend does not like me for some reason, even though I didn't do anything to her, but that's another story for a different day, I guess. And now I can't see the dog anymore, even though he's my precious little baby and I miss him every single day. So I get what he's saying. I also am just a big animal person, so I feel like you can keep open communication and not completely cut off. But I think he also needs to realize that she doesn't want a relationship with him from now on. And maybe they can come to terms as friends and just keep it completely platonic. I don't know if he's willing to do that or if he's just gonna keep secretly pining for what could have been. Listen, man, I mean, I don't know how long they were together. Maybe I missed that in the post. Girlfriend 25F of 5 years broke up with me, 28 male. I'm a fucking liar. Would not be the fucking first time. 5 years is a long time. If she's been trying for 5 years and you've just been giving lackluster communication or lackluster affection, and it's been bothering her and she's tried to communicate with you about it, I don't know, nothing really you could do. And she's right that it's too late to show affection now after she's already said that she wants to break up. It's too little too late, man. I feel bad, but I get why it's over. I get it. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna cut the video a little bit short today just because it's midnight and I have class at 10 a.m. and I still have to shower. So my bad, I kind of got started in cosplay a little late, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it. I feel like I gave some more commentary, not quite as much as the last one, because the last one had me heated. We're probably gonna do a different subreddit next time, just because I feel like Am I the Devil? I kind of need to proofread these before, because I read these and I give you my honest reaction as I see it. I don't read them beforehand. Some of these are just not as fitting for Am I the Devil as I figured they would be. So if I'm gonna do Am I the Devil in the future, I think I need to pre-read these and get an idea for them first before I read them on the channel, because maybe some of these are flops. I hope you guys enjoyed what I did have for you today, and be sure to follow me at Calphany everywhere on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. Be sure to follow my dance group, Valare Idols. We work really hard. We are performing next year at Otakon, so be sure to look out for that. And I will be in a certain somebody. Be sure to like and subscribe if you liked and subscribed it, and I will be sure to see ya.